The viral footage shows BigXThaPlug allegedly firing a gun at his close associate, Z the Wizard, during a chaotic moment inside a Dallas club on New Year's Day 2026.
Wiz one of the ones, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get to talk. My nigga Wiz one of the ones. One of the ones. Versatile.
The clip spread fast, leaving the internet stunned and asking the same question. How did it get this far?
And BigXThaPlug, he ducked for cover. He instantly ran behind the bar. Next thing you know, the bartender told him to stay down.
Z the Wizard, who had just recently been welcomed into Future's Free Bands camp, was left fighting for his life as panic erupted inside the venue. Reports say shots rang out at Pink House Dallas, with 5 people hit in total, turning what was supposed to be a celebration into pure madness.
They walk up to him. Whatever they asked him, Z the Wizard stole off one of them. Next thing you know, they start fighting. Dude that was with the suspect, he pulled out a blick, started shooting at the whole club.
Let's break down exactly what happened that night and why this footage has been running up numbers everywhere online. Pink House Dallas was hosting its grand opening on New Year's Eve 2025. The after-hours spot, located near Empire Central and North Stemmons Freeway, had lined up local artists for what was meant to be a big moment for the city. 2 major names were confirmed to pull up that night, BigXThaPlug and Z the Wizard, setting the tone for a packed, high-energy crowd.
They walk up to him. Whatever they asked him, Z the Wizard stole off one of them. Next thing you know, they start fighting. Dude that was with the suspect, he pulled out a blick, started shooting at the whole club.
BigXThaPlug, government name Xavier Landon, had been on a serious run the past 2 years. He built himself into one of the most talked about artists in Texas rap. His track Texas went gold and stacked over 330 million streams, putting him in a different bracket. By late 2025, he was linking with country stars like Luke Combs, Jelly Roll, and Bailey Zimmerman, blending Southern trap with Nashville vibes on his album I Hope You're Happy.
But why is it in hip-hop we just can't enjoy the art? Why do we have to live out whatever we're talking about?
By every measure, he was the hottest rapper out of Dallas in years. Z the Wizard, born Zachary Cannon Grant Fields, was 25 years old and came up in Oak Cliff, South Dallas, a place where staying sharp wasn't optional.
That's where your first fights happen. That's where your first haters come from. That's where you're gonna fail the most and succeed the most, but also at the same time, that's where you're gonna be overly hated.
After a sports injury shut down his athletic future, he pivoted to music and started dropping tracks in late 2024. Projects like Hood Prophet and songs like Boss Nah, 4 for 4, and Chevy pushed a grind-heavy message about survival and building something from nothing.
Conversation for the artist is find your why. Why are you rapping? Why are you making music? Is it just to be heard? Is it to make a better life?
By summer 2025, the Dallas Observer named him one of the top 20 rappers to watch in DFW. Then, in August 2025, Z signed to Future's Free Bands label, a move that signaled a jump from local buzz to national attention. With early cosigns from artists like G Herbo and Rod Wave, his momentum was undeniable. And that's what makes what happened next even more shocking.
If you won't use your celebrity to, take the revenue and the income and change your address and to help your grandmother and your mother and your children and so forth and so on, then what are you doing it for?
MO3's former manager, Rainwater, once called Z the Wizard incredibly talented and said he had the potential to take over the streets if everything lined up right. Both Z and BigXThaPlug were part of what Dallas insiders called the New Dallas Movement, a tight-knit wave of young artists pushing unity instead of division. The movement wasn't about rivalry or clout chasing. It was built on a simple idea: stop the internal chaos and move smarter together. Names tied to this wave included Zillionaire Doe, Montana 700, and Timothy Chung, artists coming from different sides of the city, some with old tension going way back. Instead of feeding that history, the New Dallas Movement flipped the script. These artists showed up for each other's shows, promoted one another's music, and stood as a unit when the spotlight hit. The mission was clear: no reckless energy, no tearing each other down. That mindset came directly from watching Dallas rap legends lose everything to street drama. When MO3 was killed in 2020 and Yellow Beezy later faced serious legal trouble tied to that case, the entire scene felt split wide open. On New Year's Eve, Z the Wizard was officially booked to perform at Pink House Dallas for its grand opening. According to people close to him, he touched the stage just before midnight and had the crowd fully locked in. His own family was in the building, watching him shine during one of the biggest moments of his career. After his set wrapped, his family headed out. Z stayed behind to celebrate with BigXThaPlug and the rest of the crew. The vibe inside the club was nothing but energy. Earlier footage showed both artists fully enjoying the night, Z tossing money toward dancers while Big X held down a section stacked with bottles. The place looked like a full-blown movie. Then, around 3:45 a.m. on January 1st, 2026, everything changed in seconds. Dallas police responded to reports of shots fired outside the venue. By the time officers arrived, the scene was already cleared, but evidence showed multiple rounds had been fired. 5 people were injured during the chaos. One of them was Z the Wizard, who was listed in critical condition. Family members later told WFAA that he had been hit multiple times and was rushed straight to the hospital. Doctors placed him on life support as soon as he arrived, confirming just how serious the situation was. The footage that exploded online came from those moments right after the shooting. It showed BigXThaPlug outside the club, visibly shaken, trying to process what had just happened. In the clip, Big X, wearing an orange jacket, leaned against a car in the pink-lit parking lot, repeating the line that would get replayed non-stop. They shot Z in the head. Big X wasn't injured, but the shock on his face told the whole story. That raw moment, the disbelief, the panic, became the image tied to the entire incident as it spread across social media. Within hours, a second wave of chaos kicked off online. People began posting that Z the Wizard had passed away, even though there was no official confirmation. By the morning of January 1st, 2026, RIP posts flooded X, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans were mourning someone who was still alive and fighting. The misinformation moved fast. One unverified post turned into hundreds, then thousands. Blogs and hip-hop pages ran with rumors instead of facts, forcing Z's family to battle false reports while he remained on life support. Montana 700, one of Z's closest friends and a member of the New Dallas movement, quickly spoke out, making it clear Z was still alive and fighting. But the damage had already been done. Many people who saw the first posts never saw the corrections.
By January 3rd, 2026, WFAA officially confirmed that Z the Wizard was still hospitalized and on life support, proving just how dangerous online rumors can get when facts take a back seat. The family spoke directly with reporters to clear up Z the Wizard's condition and shut down the rumors once and for all. According to those updates, they stayed hopeful about his recovery while asking for prayers and privacy during an already overwhelming moment. The situation at the hospital quickly turned complicated beyond just the medical emergency. Dallas police increased security around the facility to manage the crowds that started pulling up. Random fans who had never even met Z in real life were trying to get inside, while even extended family members were turned away. Officers cited safety concerns as detectives continued their investigation, locking the place down tight. The family made it clear they appreciated Dallas police, not just for protecting Z, but for helping hospital staff do their jobs without all the extra chaos. The last thing doctors needed was a crowd turning the hospital into a scene. Hemo Chung, another New Dallas artist close to Z, took to Instagram urging people to fall back and stop flooding the hospital. His message matched what everyone in Z's circle was saying: let the doctors work, give the family space, and stop spreading unverified claims. The whole situation exposed just how reckless social media gets when violence breaks out. Information moved faster than facts, emotions outran real reporting, and the same platforms that helped boost Z the Wizard's music were now pushing false stories about him being gone. Before the family could even fully process what happened, the internet had already locked in a narrative. And this wasn't new.
It had happened before with other artists, other shootings, and other tragedies, but the speed at which Zai's story flipped from rising Dallas rapper to shot at a club showed how fast online stories get cemented once they take off. Many people pointed out the grim irony. Zai the Wizard's name started trending, his streams climbed, and his songs landed on new playlists, all because of the shooting. The attention exploded, but it came at the worst possible moment for the worst possible reason. Behind the scenes, the family was fighting two battles at once, a medical crisis and a public narrative spiraling out of control. Every hour brought new posts, new claims, and more misinformation, forcing them to repeatedly confirm the same thing: Zai was still alive and fighting. In the days after the shooting, only immediate family was allowed into his hospital room. The rapper, who had been on stage just hours earlier, throwing money and rocking a crowd that included his own family, was now surrounded only by his closest people. Meanwhile, thousands of strangers online debated whether he was still breathing. The confusion dragged on for days, but the family's message never changed. Zai the Wizard was fighting, and he wasn't gone. As for what actually happened inside and outside Pink House Dallas during the early hours of January 1st, 2026, the details stayed murky. Dallas police kept information close, and most circulating accounts came from witnesses whose stories couldn't be verified. Here's what authorities officially confirmed, what witnesses claimed they saw, and where major questions still remained. According to the Dallas Police Department, officers responded to reports of gunfire at Pink House Dallas around 3:45 a.m. on January 1st, 2026. When police arrived on the scene, the venue was already cleared out, meaning the shooting had wrapped up before officers even pulled up. 5 people had been hit, and 1 victim was listed in critical condition, later confirmed to be Zai the Wizard. Authorities stated the shooting stemmed from an altercation, but they kept everything else locked down tight. Police didn't release details on what sparked the argument, who was directly involved, or what caused things to spiral. No suspects were named. They didn't confirm whether anyone was specifically targeted or if victims were hit randomly. No motive was shared either, leaving a massive gap between what was confirmed and what people online were running with. Eyewitness stories flooded social media and YouTube almost immediately, painting a much more chaotic picture, but none of it was verified. According to these accounts, a group allegedly approached Zai the Wizard, words were exchanged, and the situation turned physical fast. Then someone pulled a weapon and shots rang out. The stories didn't line up clean. Some claimed Zai swung first, others said he was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. When guns came into play, one version claimed shooters ran back to their vehicle, grabbed multiple weapons, then returned, firing as people scattered. Another claim suggested someone from Zai's own circle fired back, sparking rumors of friendly fire. That theory caught heavy pushback though. People pointed out Zai was hit multiple times, which didn't line up with a single accidental shot. Still, without official confirmation, everything stayed in speculation territory.
The venue itself became part of the controversy. Pink House Dallas was so new that New Year's Eve marked its very first night open. The timing couldn't have been worse, a grand opening turning into a crime scene covered in shell casings and police tape. Questions around security exploded immediately. How did weapons get inside or remain accessible outside? Who was checking people at the door? What protocols were in place once tensions started rising? None of those questions had clear answers. The backlash intensified when Pink House Dallas posted on social media after the incident, highlighting how much money dancers made that night. To many, celebrating profits while a performer's close friend lay in critical condition came off as wildly insensitive. The comments lit up, calling the post disrespectful and tone-deaf. Speculation didn't stop there. Some people floated the idea that BigXThaPlug might have been the real target. His profile was much bigger, and if someone wanted to make a statement, going at the loudest name in the room would make sense. But again, that was all theory. Police didn't confirm either rapper was specifically targeted. What the confirmed evidence pointed to was chaos. Multiple people injured in a short time span, shooters gone before law enforcement arrived, and the most seriously injured victim was a 25-year-old rapper celebrating what should have been the start of his breakout year. The shooting didn't happen in a vacuum.
Dallas has a long, complicated relationship with its rap scene, full of talent but haunted by violence. The city has produced artists who reached national and global levels, yet too many stories end in tragedy. The loss of MO3 in November 2020 shook the city to its core. He was killed on a highway in broad daylight, a moment that pulled national attention to Dallas. Years later, the case continued to ripple through the culture, tying other major names into the fallout and splitting the local scene apart. That division was exactly why the new Dallas movement was created. Younger artists watched how fast unity turned into separation and decided they wanted a different path. They pushed collaboration over conflict, growth over destruction, and loyalty over ego. The goal was simple: prove Dallas rappers could rise together without the drama that had already taken too many lives and wrecked too many careers. Fort Deuce, Woodtown, Pleasant Grove, neighborhoods that had been clashing for years were suddenly connected under one code. The new Dallas movement made it clear: leave the old issues in the past. Artists openly admitted their neighborhoods had history, their families had history, even their parents had beef back in the day. But the message was simple and loud: we run together now. Not everybody believed it would last, though. Skeptics pointed to Dallas's long history of division, where hood pride often turned deadly, and the music scene kept cannibalizing itself. Online debates popped off, comparing Dallas to cities like Houston, Atlanta, and the Bay, places where artists from different neighborhoods learned how to coexist without tearing each other apart. The argument was blunt: Dallas just wasn't built the same. Music executive Torrance Burnett spoke to WFAA after the shooting and raised a question that's haunted hip-hop for decades. Why do we demand rappers live exactly what they rap about? Actors play criminals, doctors, and cops every day, yet nobody expects them to actually live those lives. But in hip-hop, authenticity comes with pressure. Artists feel forced to stay connected to streets that can turn deadly fast. Burnett's point hit home: the culture sometimes rewards risk instead of growth. By all accounts, Z the Wizard wasn't moving reckless. His music focused on grinding, hustling, and building something better. People close to him said he stayed locked in on progress, not chaos. He worked with youth in the community, coached sports, and mentored younger kids trying to stay on the right path. Everyone who knew Z said he came up off talent and work ethic, not street drama. But the streets don't care about intentions. A club doesn't check your character before things pop off. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time can still end everything: your career, your future, your life. Many commentators came to the same conclusion: the smartest move for artists is leaving their hometown once success hits. In your city, history follows you. People remember who you were, where you came from, and what block you represented. Even if you've moved on, others might not have. Success breeds envy, and comfort can turn into carelessness. Slipping once can change everything. In another city, you're just another rapper. You move cautious because nobody knows you. Back home, familiarity can become dangerous.
In the days after the shooting, the focus shifted from what happened to what it meant. Z the Wizard remained on life support. His family stayed hopeful, repeating the same message: he was fighting. Hospital security stayed tight, with Dallas police managing crowds and keeping people out. Even extended family members were turned away as safety remained the priority. BigXThaPlug, who watched his day one get hit on what was supposed to be a celebration, stayed mostly silent. That viral clip of his reaction, the confusion, the pain, the disbelief, continued circulating everywhere. That moment became the image tied to the entire story. No arrests were announced in the immediate aftermath. Dallas police continued saying the shooting came from an altercation, but details stayed unclear. Whether charges would be filed remained unknown. For the new Dallas movement, this was the ultimate test. The whole vision was about moving differently, avoiding the beefs that destroyed earlier generations, and building something that actually lasted.
Z the Wizard getting hit, no matter the cause, forced uncomfortable questions into the open. Was unity really enough? Could the new generation escape the same cycles? And if this shooting was truly random, that reality made it even scarier. If this really started as a random club altercation that had nothing to do with Z the Wizard's music or who he moved with, then it was a harsh reminder that violence doesn't discriminate. It can find anybody, no matter how careful or positive they try to be. But if it turns out the shooting was targeted, tied to his rise, his affiliations, or some unseen tension, then it sends an even darker message. Even artists focused on growth and progress aren't immune from the pull of the streets. The hip-hop community reacted the way it always does in moments like this. Calls for peace flooded timelines. Grief poured out from fans and peers. Questions about club security took over conversations, and once again, people reflected on the risks that come with nightlife and fame. Torrance Burnett's comments summed up what many in the industry were already thinking. If you're chasing a rap dream, you need a real definition of success, and that plan has to include distance from environments that can end everything in seconds. Z the Wizard was clearly on that path. He had just secured a major label deal. He was positioned to move beyond Dallas, tour nationally, and build real wealth that could change his entire family's future. The shooting interrupted that momentum at the worst possible moment imaginable. The incident also brought renewed attention to BigXThaPlug's past legal issues. In 2025, he faced arrests in February and August related to possession charges. Neither situation involved violence, but they highlighted the constant legal pressure artists face in Texas, where certain laws carry serious consequences. Big X leaving the Pink House shooting physically unharmed but visibly shaken added another layer to his story. He built his brand on speaking honestly about street realities, and now he had watched that world nearly take someone he loved right in front of him. As New Year's Day 2026 faded into the weeks that followed, the immediate crisis turned into bigger unanswered questions. Would Z the Wizard pull through? Would those responsible be identified and charged? And could the new Dallas movement survive a moment like this without falling apart like movements before it? There were no easy answers. What remained was the footage. BigXThaPlug standing outside the club in the early morning hours, processing the unthinkable. In the clip, his words echoed over and over online. They shot Z in the head. That moment captured the reality better than any commentary ever could. A celebration ended in gunfire. A rising artist was fighting for his life, and the footage spread everywhere, because that's how these moments move now. It goes viral, it gets consumed, and eventually the internet shifts its attention to the next tragedy, leaving real people behind to live with the consequences.